think we should be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's probably live already, but anyways, all right, here we go. Happy days, happy days. Top of the morning, guys. How do you do? I am here with an amazing client of mine, Steph Zitto. I've never said your last name until just now. I think that's the first time I've ever said
That's
your
so,
last
yeah,
name.
buddy.
Steph Zitto is a manifestation coach. I'm gonna let her explain what she does better than what I do. But she's a manifestation coach, so she's teaching people how to get unstuck, move past their blocks, get into energetic alignment. She does stuff with hypnosis, and I think do you do stuff with like meditations and that kind of stuff as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, hypnosis and kind of going into that intuitive space, like Akashic records.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So super in the spiritual space. And so she joined my program in January. And in the last 8 months, so she's at, I think, 85K in sales so far, maybe a little bit more. Like she's getting really close to six figures in sales in the last 8 months. And so she's going to share with you guys like her top tips. I'm keen to know, like, if you guys are watching and you're in the spiritual space, like just comment spiritual or me so that I know how many people here are in the spiritual space or what niche you are in. I'm keen to know what niche you guys are in. She's going to share like where she was at and where she is now and what her top tips and stuff are. Hey, Chanel. Hey, Marcia. How do you guys do? And so, Steph, take it away. Let me know, like, where were you in your business in January? What was going on? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I was kind of getting to like $10,000 a month or sometimes $14,000 a month, but it was kind of like a roller coaster and it wasn't consistent. And I would start the beginning of the month kind of like, what am I doing this month? So I was really looking for something that would kind of give me more of like a plan when I found you and some more consistency. And I just got kind of like dead set on this being the year that I would hit at least $20,000 months. And then of course, even above that. And what I really loved is just how like have broken down some of the pieces that were missing for me, like the consistency of connection, of bringing new people into my world who are really interested in vibing with what I do, and then creating that connection, especially through these events. And like some of the things that you talk about, they make complete sense. Like having kind of just needing to really get to know each other and have some experience and time with one another. And so I found that to be just incredibly helpful. And it's funny because when people come on my challenges now, it's like we already know each other. So
Yeah.
it's really fun and it creates like a really amazing community, which of course is also just its own vibe.
I love that. I love that you said it's fun because it's not always fun, right? Sometimes it's stressful and there's so much going on. And so if we can find ways to make it fun, it's definitely like you're gonna win a business if you can
That
make it.
part's fun.
Sorry?
That part's fun.
That part is fun. Tell me, like where are you at now? What's going on now? How are you feeling now?
Yeah, now I really feel just this level of confidence of what is possible in my business because I've seen it and I've been able to do it on a repeat. So being able to, and I was just looking at my numbers, I was like, it's more than 85K, but just to actually say that I'm like touching, six figures in this amount of time, or even within like 6 months, almost that is, yeah, it's one of those things like I wanted it, I thought about it, and now I'm like, oh, I'm the person doing it. And so it gives me that confidence. Also, seeing you doing these six-figure months, I understand that I'm doing the same process you're doing. And so if I step in even more, like there's certain system pieces that I know like that's what I'm implementing now. So some of the pieces that are going to support me, I'm ready to really implement those so that it can even move to the next level.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna get you to share like your top tips for people, but I kind of want to take a little sidestep into the emotions of it first because you've crushed it, right? And many of the people that come through inside of the program, like that crush it, I haven't had a client get to this point, like where you're at, and it not be a roller coaster. You know, like there's always emotions and there's always things and there's always stuff to deal with, whether it's like outside stress or just the not knowing or the, ma managing all
Mm.
of that. So I'm keen to hear your perspective on just managing the emotions and the roller coaster of it.
I feel like you gave me some great advice this one time. You were like, you can give yourself permission to do it even when you don't feel like it. I was like, that's great advice. And for sure, I think, we've had some stress like with my husband's work or some kind of wonky energy around what he does. And that's part of why I'm so committed to making this work on my end. And so I think there has been a roller coaster, and there's been this like deep, sincere desire, one, to help the people I'm working with, but also to really succeed. And yeah, there's, I think, just a normal phase of like doubt if it's working. And I feel like you're kind of like this rock or like a rooted tree that has helped me kind of just look at it from just more of honestly a business perspective and less of like an emotional perspective in a way, which is really helpful because it's like if you just keep, putting one foot in front of the other, like that's literally what's going to work. And, if I get caught up in my own feelings, like that's not going to do anything. So that's been really helpful too.
I love that. One foot in front of the next. Absolutely. All right,
Yeah.
tell me. So there'd be people watching who are getting off the ground or they're stuck, or maybe they're where you were, like you were doing like 10K months, right? So th things were moving, but they weren't moving super fast. And now you're on track to do like, well, I mean, you almost did 6 figures in 6 months, which is pretty amazing, right? So you basically doubled it. What's your number one tip? What's your number one tip so far?
I say my number one tip is just to kind of dial in a plan that not only is connecting with your ideal clients, but following up with them. I feel like that was a huge piece that it seems so obvious, but people would kind of just like fall away. And I think in our work and working with you, I've understood just like there's no falling away. There's just like a friend can't make this event, well, just invite them to the next one. Like, oh, they can't
Yeah,
do this thing, fine, just come to this thing. It's
yeah,
really not that hard. It's not rocket science, but it's literally also genius. And I just see like most people are not talking about this or
yeah.
even doing this, and it's literally the thing to stay connected.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you don't need to be in the mood to do the work. Have a plan, have a plan to follow up. Give me another tip, something else that's been really helpful.
It's just been really helpful to just, really be able to dive into, I think for me, like my language and how I'm communicating to people. I think that's been a place, just being a very woo-woo person that
Yeah.
maybe I like struggled with. And so I think it's been really helpful to like you've been able to help me tweak some of what I've been able to post in a way that like really resonated and really popped. And I think especially some of you've got a lot of like content examples. And when I've been able to model that and do it, I've gotten like over 100 likes, like up to maybe 60 comments. Like now I've got all these people to connect with and to thank and then to, move forward
Yeah.
with. So I think just some of the languaging has been incredibly important too.
Yeah, cool. I like that. Can you elaborate on like what's been working for you in terms, because I know that for a lot of people in especially in a spiritual space, I think that creating content is a challenge because sometimes they might be so far, in the ethers that when you read the post, you don't really a normal like, not like a normal or not normal, but like someone who's not accustomed to all that language kind of can read it and not know what they're reading. And so I'm keen to know for you, like what's been working and what's been good in terms of that.
Well, I think in terms of like the type of posts, I dialed back. Like I feel like you would look at my thing, you're like, it could just be this mess of posts. And I just realized like I don't have to even post that frequently, but what I am posting is something that's like very personal. It's not even trying to sell anyone on anything. It's been a really interesting like stepping away from I think what a lot of people are doing, where it's just like sell this thing, sell this thing. And instead it's just like celebrating some things that are happening in my life that's like really tangible and really personal, or maybe sharing something that's been like a low point and how I've moved through it. And again, it's like very tangible and very personal. And even being able to share that in some groups where then people are just reaching out, like, what did you do? What is happening? Like, people want to know real life things. And so I think just bringing it to, instead of the ethers, like, let's change your life and like shift your energy, which is literally how I talk all the time. It's like, well, let's just talk about how I manifested us moving into this home and, manifested like a cruise, or I mean, it's just like more tangible things, right? Than just like the stuff that sounds nice, but like, well, what do you really mean?
Yeah, I like that. So like specific, like tie it into real life examples, what's going on, focus on like stories and you and connecting versus selling and like vague examples of what you're trying to teach them to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah, and I what I started to really realize is like there's a bit more of like a cadence to what we're even posting. And some of what I'm posting is gonna, and you can kind of just observe and just see what's working, but it's really gonna get a lot of people, a lot of visibility, a lot of eyes. And then from there, I might post like a call to action, which is, calling people in that are going to then attend like a challenge of mine. And I just noticed that there's already a lot more people who are seeing me. And so there's more who are like maybe outside my normal range who are going to then see that call to action and then be excited and interested in that too.
I like that. I like that. That's awesome. All right, cool. Give us one more tip. I'm writing these down, or I'm trying to write these down in the chat box. If anyone else wants to write them in the chat box, please go ahead. But give us one more tip.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I've learned this just by also watching other people in this program who are thriving and killing it. And I really gain a lot from seeing, I'm like, oh, it's working for you too. Okay. But I think just taking anyone, well, one, just do what Sarah says, but also just like take it all as information. So, like, I've seen some people, maybe they had a couple of challenges where like they didn't really kill it. And it's just like, well, let's just like inquire, like instead of just being mad about it or sad about it or giving up or saying it doesn't work, like let's lean in. Like that's why I signed on for the year, because I feel like I can actually like juicily lean into this process, give myself some space if it's, July and I want to go on vacation and take a beat, but also like really lean into it and get even better at it and really kind of master this as a craft. And if something's not working, let's just like observe that piece that isn't working and then shift that piece versus like throwing out the whole thing and trying TikToks or whatever.
Oh, that was just like gold. Like focus on mastering the craft long term. And that's how I look at business, right? Like
Yeah.
when I went back to my mentor mid last year, the attitude was, okay, I'm going to be here for at least 2 years. I know that he knows things I don't know because he's growing faster than me. I don't know what those things are. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I was going to keep turning up, right? And I just made the commitment, okay, I'm going to run these events every month. At the beginning, I was running them every 2 weeks. And it was just because I was like, I'm just going to get good at it. And that was
Mhm.
it. Like focus was like long-term consistency, get good and just make these tweaks. And sometimes like people message me, and sometimes even clients message me and people ask like, what's just that one thing I need to do? How can I just be like as fastly successful as you or this or that? And I'm like, it's in the turning up, like, it's in the long term. It's in like all those tiny little iterations that you're making for a year. Like I can't give you all that in one
Mhm.
sit down, like you got to be in it. So I love that that was your tip.
Yeah, you can quote that. Yeah, and I think simultaneously, like I see, certain people who come to me and they're wanting more success, and I think similarly, like just showing up or being visible. I think of some people who have come to me that like they've known me for a long time, or but they see like I'm in it, like I am not leaving this space, like this is what I do, and I think there's like this level of trust that someone who comes into your world, like the first time they meet you doesn't mean they're going to buy your thing, and it's okay. Like let them
Yeah.
cook, like let them get to know you, just like a friendship, like dating, It's like there's
One,
apps for that, but kind
yes. Yes, 100. I love it. It's so true, right? Like you build this momentum that
of.
comes from like every connection, right? And every relationship you're building, which comes back to like what you were saying with having a process to follow up and not just letting people
Yeah.
disappear and then not giving them the next thing or the next piece of value. I really like that. Do you have, like, I know you've got freebies, I know you've got trainings and stuff, and I know that there are people in here who need what you have because you're all about getting into energetic alignment. You like all about like what are you focusing on and how are you feeling and doing the right things at the right time for your business and what not just business, right? But you can actually explain what you do better than I can. But like, what have you got? Like, talk to me about what have you got for people?
Yeah, and so I think, like what I'm really good at is being kind of this kind of psychic MRI to see exactly like where the block is or where the hitch is in the system, and then helping us release that. So one thing I have is, especially around money, like, even when people are successful, there's like this next level, and there can be kind of like a little bit of money hitch in there, maybe from childhood, or we might even say past lives. And so I do have a money magnet hypnosis that if someone would like, I suppose, what should they do? Should they comment money magnet?
Yeah, yeah, come money
Okay.
magnet or magnet or yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Money
So
magnet.
it's a great way to kind of get the subconscious aligned with what you do want and help release some of those limiting beliefs that just aren't helpful anymore. And I'd love to invite anyone to come to my Next Level You challenge, which is a place where you can really get clear on what it is you really want, whether it's in business or other aspects of your life, like your clarity, your alignment, and then also have a release. We're going to do a hypnosis to help us release those limiting beliefs, and then to really move into that space of action. So understanding how we can get aligned with our action. So we just have seamless success.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I actually I was reading like some of your stuff because I read all you guys' copy and stuff, right? And I help you guys tweak it out. And one of the things that I liked, which I think you didn't mention it just then, but in regards to the next level you challenge that you're doing was you were talking around being able to make like easier, faster decisions. And I think
Mhm,
that's really key. I mean, it's key for life, but in business, right? If you look at the people that are most successful, they're the people that can just make decisions the fastest,
mhm,
commit and move on. Because if you stay stuck in indecision, like you can't move forward in a place of indecision on joining the program, indecision on what niche to choose, indecision on what strategy, indecision on do I throw it in the bin now or do I keep going, right? If every month you pull the handbrakes up and you stay stuck in indecision before
yeah.
you move forward again, like you won't create success. And that was one of the things that I was reading was part of like the challenge and stuff. And you didn't mention it just then, but I was like, you should mention that because business owners need to be able to make better decisions. And so,
Yeah,
um,
no, I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. And it's decisions from the heart. It's like intuitive decisions. It's not what some other guru said or some other coach said. It's like this isn't me talking from my fear or kind of trying to sabotage myself. Like this is like I know I might be a little scared about doing this, but I also know this is the right path, and I know that I'm going to make it work, or I'm going to do what it takes to have it work out.
yeah, I love it. I love it. So, any other tips or bits of advice or anything that you want to share with people?
Yeah, I think it literally is exactly that. I think a lot of times we actually know what it is that we could be doing or need to be doing, or even, signing on to get some coaching so we can accelerate. But I think when we can really get into that place of like what's my legacy? Like what would I do if I couldn't fail? What would I do if I couldn't fail? If we got into that energy, like I know that there's decisions that we're out there looking to make and we're like so excited about that, but then like the brain is naturally going to just tell us all these reasons why we shouldn't, or it's going to be hard. But if you just put that one foot in front of the other, you just say yes to what sparks your heart. I promise you that in the end, you're going to keep finding things that are going to show up, that are going to align, that will support you, that will show you evidence of that success. Even my client today, she was wanting to move more into her joy, and she went into an old purse, and sure enough, she found this little like keychain that said joy on it. So she got that synchronicity showing up for her.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So in recap, guys, right? Like top tips if you're wanting to get things off the ground, or even like Steph, you've doubled your business in like, almost 6 months. And so if you're wanting to really move things forward, number one, is that you don't have to be in the mood to do the work. Give yourself permission to turn up when you're not in the mood. Number two is have a long-term mindset, long-term focus on mastering the skill, being good at the thing. Focus on consistency because that's what builds trust. Number three is make sure that you have a follow-up process in place. And then if you guys would like Steph's money, I don't remember what it was, or some kind
Magnet.
of money block thing, magnet, like comment money magnet if you want that, or challenge if you want to do a challenge. Like if you're really like wanting to get unstuck and move things to the next level, comment challenge and her challenge will be a great fit for you. But otherwise, you guys rock. Peace and love. Thank you, Steph. You've been amazing.
Ew.
So thank you for coming today. Thank you for sharing this and congrats on crushing it. And I'll see y'all when we see ya.